on this special divine day of the disappearance of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. We're continuing the process that he carried down to us through the disciplic succession from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself and the Goswamis. And that is the primary practice of chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No one else is doing it in the world because they have no information about the goal of life or the process for achieving it. We're very fortunate because we're receiving information from pure devotees who are telling us the ways and means to come in contact directly with Krishna, to reestablish our relationship with him, and to use this life, which is temporary, to attain an eternal goal. And the means for doing that is to chant Hare Krishna. So now we're going to enter into the japa circle. We welcome everybody from different parts of the world who's joined us today. Hare Krishna. I'm going to start by reading a section to hear Srila Prabhupada's instructions on the chanting of the holy names. Continuing for where we left off last week, Prabhupada says, or writes in the Chaitanya Charitamrita, for an ordinary man, worship of Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu or the Panchatattva is easier than worship of Radha and Krishna. Unless one is very fortunate, he should not be induced to worship Radha Krishna directly. A neophyte student who is not sufficiently educated or enlightened should not indulge in the worship of Sri Radha and Krishna or the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra. Even if he does so, he cannot get the desired result. One should therefore chant the names of Nitai Gora and worship them without false prestige. Since everyone within this material world is more or less influenced by sinful activities, in the beginning it is essential that one take to the worship of Guru Gauranga and ask their favor. For thus, despite all his disqualifications, one will very soon become qualified to worship the Radha Krishna Vigraha. It should be noted in this connection that the holy names of Lord Krishna and Gaur Sundar are both identical with the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, one should not consider one name to be more potent than the other. Considering the position of the people of this age, however, the chanting of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's name is more essential than the chanting of the Hare Krishna mantra, because Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the most magnanimous incarnation and his mercy is very easily achieved. Therefore, one must first take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by chanting Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. By serving Gaura Nityananda, one is freed from the entanglements of material existence and thus becomes qualified to worship the Radha Krishna deity. This was from the Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 8.24 through 31. Let's say the Panchatattva mantra together 3 times, and then we'll begin chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. So we live in a world of variety because this material world is a reflection of the spiritual world, which is the source of all the variety. And in the Gita, Krishna advises us, Vyavasayatmika buddhir eke hakurunandana bahushaka hyanantascha buddhayo vyavasayinam If you don't have a single point of focus or a very clear way to direct your mind, an object of meditation that's worthy, then bahushaka hi anantascha. And then your mind will be forced, or just by default, it'll go to all the other varieties in the material world, which are temporary and unfulfilling, and which are the cause of our transmigrating from one situation to the next. So it's very important for human beings to have a clear directive. So we come in a line of teachers. It's a tradition that's authorized, that comes down from Krishna. And we follow the parampara. So we hear from Kaviraj Goswami that when Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took initiation from his spiritual master, he also received an instruction. Harinama, Harinama, Harinama eva kevalam, kalau nasteva, nasteva, nasteva gatiranyata. That the only way to attain perfection is chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, emphatically. And there are thousands of commentaries of words, paragraphs by the great acharyas in our line describing how important it is to chant the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Once Prabhupada said that these are all to convince us to fix our mind on the chanting of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So for humans who are attempting to attain the perfection of life, being connected to the tradition, understanding the instruction, and then taking it up is completely edifying. And it's the only safety. I remember staying with a friend of mine on the way to India, and every morning he would get up early and sit down and chant his rounds. And I remember just sitting next to him thinking, what a sublime activity. One of the aspects of its sublimity is that, as observing my senior god brother sitting there and just following his spiritual master's order. You do this. You chant these rounds every day. And he would do it. And when I sat next to him, I felt inspired that, yes, I will also do it. And day after day, if we're able to follow the order of the spiritual master, the parampara, Lord Chaitanya's instruction, what the scripture says, and resist the drift that our mind takes us to in various objects in this material world, absorbing us, and all kinds of modalities or objects that are surcharged with the modalities through which we simply become bewildered. Buddhayo vyavasayinam, unless we have that fixity of mind, we become bewildered and pulled in many different directions. And this is hellish for a little jiva, what to speak of perilous. So we're very fortunate to be here on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's disappearance day, following in his footsteps. He spoke many words about the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. He also sat down for 10 years and chanted 1 billion names of the Lord. And then everything that he said came through the mouth of Srila Prabhupada and is coming through his modern, those who follow Srila Prabhupada in the line, saying the same thing. And Prabhupada indicated this same vibration, then you re-speak it and it comes out to others and it has the potency. So this is not an insignificant gathering. It's very important. And we sit here today praying to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur and to our founder Acharya Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada and all the great Vaishnavas to please empower us to, with one pointed attention, stay fixed in the process of chanting Hare Krishna. It's so sublime and so beautiful, and it leads to the perfection of life. And let's just take some reflections from any of you who are in the process and appreciating any aspect of it.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Oh, Hare Krishna.
Please accept my prostrated obeisances unto your lotus feet. All glories to Śāstra Prabhupada.
Hare
I
Krishna.
have one question. So, are the thoughts of Sankirtan or any other devotional service while chanting is fine, and are these thoughts material?
Thinking about Sankirtan?
Yeah, or any other devotional service.
Sankirtan is not a material activity, and devotional service not a material activity. And there are different levels of chanting, but when we chant and we remember something spontaneously, like Sankirtan, or a devotee the other day reported to me that he was chanting and he had a good session of japa, and he was remembering the pilgrimage that he made to Govardhan, and that it just came into his mind, the parikrama and a particular part by Govinda Kund. So when these things come spontaneously, they're an effect of associating with the mantra. When we associate with the mantra, we're associating with Krishna, and then there's an effect from that. We're in the presence of Krishna. So the fact that there are various kinds of experiences and thoughts that we have is quite natural. There is a way in which it's easy to become distracted. Start thinking about one thing and then another, and I forgot to lock the car. And, so it's important to stay disciplined and keep coming back to the sound of the mantra and the prayer, the feeling of prayerfulness and chanting. You can't chant and, the meaning is, oh, my Lord, oh, energy of the Lord, please engage me in your service. So please, that can come from your heart, that feeling as you're chanting, please engage me in more Sankirtan. It's so sublime. I just want to be used as an instrument. Thank you for your question.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Dandavats. Yeah, sometimes, as you are saying now, when I'm chanting, sometimes I close my eyes and I see like a black screen, and I project there all my thoughts, all my things that I have to do, and most of them, by Krishna's blessing, is about service. But how? So I sometimes I justify that develop those thoughts, but I don't want to do it. So I try to bring the mind. So if you can have some suggestion, because sometimes we justify our developing of thoughts because it's about service.
Well, in the Bhāgavatam, there's a description of the various levels of the mind. And in one of them, there's, when we're exposed to it, we're really just listening to the echo of all the things that we've been doing, not just this lifetime, but previous lifetimes. And it's more or less described as chatter. So we're advised really to rise above that. And it takes practice to be able to enter into higher levels of concentration on the holy name of the Lord, and also to purify the consciousness. As I was just saying to Kṛṣṇa Prabhu, that, it may be natural, we think of service or something like that, but really the objective japa is described in one śāstra where you put your mind in the mantra and the mantra in your mind. With ordinary objects, you can't do that, but with the mantra, you can. So the more we can become focused and absorbed in the name and the feeling of chanting first, that please engage me in your service, the more effective our japa will be.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. One more.
I would like to share something.
Yes, please.
Yeah, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So I was reading in the Bhāgavatam, and I think it's in the Canto 7. It says that in a prayer about how all the scriptures is like rivers that goes and get connected to the ocean. And I'm recently joined this Prabhu Kotu and Prabhu Krishna has been teaching me how to chant. In the scriptures that I was used to, there were a few scriptures that I noticed from few people that follow God. They use the words invoking his name. or then the son was saying, like, he started invoking his name, and those were like hidden in the scriptures, but I always love to follow. And I'm like, well, I was just gonna do it on my own, because this calling on his name is not an usual thing where I'm coming from. But then I learned also on those scriptures that the name of the Lord is like a tower. To it, the people find refuge, and also calling on the Lord is a salvation. So these little things were grounded in my heart as a seed, and I really appreciate very much to learn how to do it. And the Lord has been moving my grounds so much to start removing, since this is, what is it, I've been doing this like a month, and I've been trying to do it every day. Sometimes I follow. The very first time I did the chanting, it was so powerful to me that I only did like 7 beats, and I was falling asleep. I needed to stand up. Now I'm able to do the whole beats. I can do, but it's not about, in my case, it's not about bragging. It's the power that is doing in moving the grounds, and station me in my life, and my family, and my work, and my values. And I really appreciate doing this. And now something happened even at nighttime when I'm asleep. Something in my stomach is doing it, and it repeated it in my brain. And I appreciate that is so powerful, that is changing and is moving my foundation. Is redirecting everything and put the values where they supposed to be. And I appreciate this groups, and I'm really happy that these Zoom classes are back. I was very, very excited that I was joined this morning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Sergio. Hare Krishna. And
Hare Krishna.
yes, hearing about your experiences is very helpful to everybody. And we pray that the holy name will bless you in wonderful ways and continue to expand your consciousness and bring you closer to Krishna. Om Tat Sat.
Thank you.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Bol. Hare. Thank you.
So now I have I'm going to jump off for 20 minutes, and I'll be right back at 8:20. And we'll see you then. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.